Welcome, fellow adventurers, to the enchanting city of Coimbra, a place where history, culture, and charm converge to create a timeless tapestry of beauty. In this 45 minutes exploration, we will delve deep into the heart of Portugal's hidden gem, uncovering the stories, traditions, and hidden treasures that make Coimbra a must-see destination. But first, as we wander through the cobblestone streets, let us rewind the clock and immerse ourselves in the rich history of Coimbra. This city, perched on the Mondego River, has been a beacon of knowledge and enlightenment for centuries. First and foremost, Coimbra is home to one of the oldest universities in Europe, a venerable institution that has nurtured brilliant minds since its founding in 1290. The University of Coimbra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a living testament to the city's intellectual prowess. And we will bring you there in the later part of this video. However, all good stories start with history. Our tour of Coimbra starts here, right at this Baroque church, on the outskirts of Coimbra main streets, and it is called the Church of Santa Justa. Due to the instability of the terrain and frequent floods from the Mondego River, causing it to often overflow its banks, the church consistently faced significant damage. Following a series of renovations, a decision was made to construct a new church at an elevated and flood-resistant location. In 1710, under the guidance of Bishop D. Antonio de Vasconcelos e Sousa, the construction of the new temple commenced. The present-day church, also dedicated to Santa Justa, inherited all the possessions and art objects from its predecessor, along with retaining its privileges. The history of Coimbra is a long one, starting around 200 BC. We will tell it to you, in bits and pieces, during the course of this video. Perched on a hill overlooking the Mondego River, what is known as Coimbra today, was called as Eminium during the Roman era. The city was established by the Romans under the reign of Augustus. The Roman era lasted from 200 BC all the way to 711 AD. Then came as what is known as the Visigothic and Moorish period. Between 711 and 715, the first Muslim campaigns in the Iberian Peninsula took place, leading to the occupation of Coimbra by Musa bin Nuzair in 714. The main city had a walled area of 10 hectares and housed between 3,000 to 5,000 residents. This period lasted until 1064 AD. Starting to get confused? Alright, let us continue. In 1064 AD, Coimbra was retaken by the Christian forces led by King Ferdinand I of Leon. The city then became a part of the expanding Christian territories during the Reconquista. And it is during their rule that Coimbra became even more prominent with the establishment of the University of Coimbra in 1290, making it one of the oldest universities in continuous operation in the world. So let's sum it up till now. First were the Roman, then came Moorish rule and then Christian conquest. We were now walking through the small alleys, trying to find our way towards the main square of town. It was like walking through a maze, but finally the streets opened up and it looked like we made it. We were in the square where the Monastery of the Holy Cross is located, and this is literally the heart of Coimbra. The church stands in a prominent position within the Santa Cruz Square, a historic and vibrant area of the city. Santa Cruz Square is an open, rectangular space surrounded by historic buildings and featuring a mix of cobblestone pathways and green areas. The square has a lively and inviting ambience, often hosting cultural events, markets, and gatherings, and also this quaint little shop that was already selling Christmas decoration, in the middle of October. The Monastery of the Holy Cross dominates one side of the square, with the church's facade facing the square. The architectural style reflects a blend of Romanesque and Gothic elements. The church is recognized as a national monument and holds the status of a national pantheon because it serves as the burial place for the first two kings of Portugal. Established in 1131 just outside Coimbra's protective walls, the monastery played a vital role during the early years of the Portuguese monarchy. Founded by Saint Theotonius, the Monastery of the Holy Cross was home to the Canons Regular of the Holy Cross of Coimbra, with Saint Theotonius serving as their first leader. Construction of the monastery and church took place between 1132 and 1223. Over time, the monastery gained significant wealth through papal privileges and royal grants, solidifying its position in politics, institutions, and culture. All right, let us step inside and take a closer look. Once inside, you will notice that there are no traces left of the original Romanesque monastery. It was initially designed with one central space and a tall tower at the front, following the style of Augustinian Romanesque buildings. However, these features no longer exist. In the early 16th century, King Manuel ordered a complete renovation of the monastery, personally overseeing its restoration. The entire monastery, including the church and the tombs of Kings Afonso Henriques and Sancho I, was reorganized and moved to the main chapel in 1530. The monastery's school, boasting an extensive library, was highly esteemed in medieval times and served as a hub for intellectual and influential figures. Its scriptorium played a crucial role in consolidating royal power under King Afonso Henriques, who chose to be buried there, given the monastery's historical importance. The main entrance, built between 1522 and 1525 by Chantarine, is a standout piece blending Manueline and Renaissance styles. The Manueline church and chapter house, known for its unique ceilings, were designed by architect Diogo de Boitaca. Marco Pires continued the work, completing the church, St. Michael's Chapel, and the Cloister of Silence. Throughout the 16th century, renowned architects, sculptors, and painters contributed to the Monastery of the Holy Cross of Coimbra. The sacristy, added in the 17th century, houses some remarkable 16th century paintings. Being the most important building of its time, it was granted many privileges and accumulated significant wealth, as well as being an important seat of learning in medieval times. It was built in Romanesque style, with one nave and a high tower above the facade, but was replaced in later years with a new monastery. As I already mentioned, this building and renovation project took place during the early part of the 16th century, but like the Romanesque church before it, the new building also took the form of a single nave, with the addition of several laterals. Upon the conclusion of the primary renovations in 1530, the resting places of King Afonso and King Sancho I were moved to the main chapel, where they still rest beneath a sculptural creation by Nicolau Chantarine. Subsequent changes to the architecture included the addition of a Baroque triumphal arch and an intricate Baroque pipe organ. The pipe organ, crafted by Manuel Brito Gomes Herrera, was finished in 1724. So much information about one single church. However, the Santa Cruz Church is a somewhat undiscovered treasure in the city of Coimbra. Situated on a bustling commercial street, it might easily go unnoticed, but it truly deserves attention. It is undoubtedly worth including in the itinerary of any visitor exploring Coimbra. So next time you visit the city, do make sure that you make time to visit this church. And you will notice that gorgeous ceramic tiles, statues, stonework, and glass adorn the surroundings, complementing the exquisite architecture splendidly. While admission is free, the nominal fee for a tour of the sacristy and other areas is highly worthwhile. And even beyond the church, the immediate surroundings exude historical charm, providing a glimpse into Coimbra's rich past. Given the monastery's connection to Portuguese royalty and its role as a national pantheon, the square and its surroundings also carry cultural and historical significance. Let us take a tour there after we leave the church. And here we are right outside. Located in a pedestrian-friendly zone, encouraging leisurely strolls and exploring of all nearby landmarks, the square is a perfect place to start your tour of Coimbra. It is also a great place to stop by and snap those beautiful Instagram photos. Alright, let us continue our tour. We are going to walk this alley and it should lead us towards the Mondego River. And while we do that, let us continue with our little history lesson. The 15th and 16th century in Coimbra marked the age of discoveries. It was during this period that the city flourished culturally and economically. And it was during this same period that the Manueline style, a Portuguese variation of late Gothic architecture, left its mark on several buildings in the city. And then came the Spanish rule. Like the rest of Portugal, Coimbra was under Spanish rule for a period of 60 years, between 1580 to 1640. And during that time, the University of Coimbra moved to Lisbon. We are now near the Barbican Gate. There is an arch nearby, and this is also the path that connects the city centre to the university area. But we are not going there yet. Like I mentioned, we were making our way towards the river. Restaurants, boutiques, shops, and stores lined up this colorful alley. It was clean, arrow straight, and we came across various artists and musicians who were performing live. There, we also found a mix of traditional and modern shopping experiences, with local crafts, fashion, and unique finds. Rua Ferreira Borges is a bustling shopping street in the city centre. It offers a diverse range of shops, from well-known brands to local boutiques. Visitors can explore fashion, accessories, and traditional Portuguese products. But if you are interested in a market atmosphere, the downtown market in Praça do Comércio is a must-visit. Here, you can find fresh produce, local crafts, and a lively ambience. The market is an excellent place to experience the local culture. It is also known as the Coimbra Downtown Market, and it is just 5 minutes walk from where we are standing currently. There are 2 exquisite mannequins right outside Captain Porto candy shop. Do pay close attention to them if you are in the area. A few minutes walk led us to the Mondego River banks and to the Parque Manuel Braga. The first sight that caught our attention was the Ponte de Santa Clara. This bridge spans the Mondego River in Coimbra, connecting the Santa Clara district with the city centre. It features a contemporary design and is characterized by its modern construction. It is a relatively recent structure and is distinct from some of the older, more historic bridges in Coimbra. The Mondego River is one of the major rivers in Portugal, flowing through central Portugal. At approximately 234 kilometers long, it is the longest river within the Portuguese territory. It originates in the Serra da Estrela mountain range, the highest in Portugal, and flows westward through several regions before reaching the Atlantic Ocean. The river passes through various cities and towns, including Guarda, Salórico da Beira, Figueira da Foz, and of course, Coimbra. Today, while not as prominent for navigation, the river remains important for activities such as fishing and recreational boating. The Mondego River and its surrounding areas are ecologically diverse, with unique flora and fauna. Conservation efforts aim to protect the biodiversity of the river and its ecosystem. The park located next to the river was originally an area owned by Benedictine monks. In 1888, the Coimbra City Council acquired the area with a vision to transform it into a public garden, and did just that, in 1920, with the landscaping entrusted to Jacinto de Motos, a renowned horticulturist from Porto. And talking about Porto, we will have an entire episode dedicated to the amazing city of Porto. We will even have a guest presenter for that episode. So, if you enjoy the content and want to stay updated on all the latest videos, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world to us. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and drop a comment below to share your thoughts or suggestions. I love hearing from you. Thanks for being part of our community. And now that we have seen the river and the park, it was time to walk back towards Coimbra city centre, to check out what other gems we could find there. We mentioned that the university was moved to Lisbon during the Spanish occupation. It was only during what is known as the Baroque and Enlightenment phase, which occurred during the 17th to 18th century, when Coimbra experienced a period of architectural and cultural growth during the Baroque era, that the university was moved back to its original location. This was also during the reign of King John V. The area close to the Mondego River is known as Largo de Portugal. It serves as a hub, connecting various streets and pathways in the city, and it is surrounded by buildings that showcase a mix of architectural styles, reflecting the city's rich history. The architectural ensemble contributes to the overall charm of the square. We are now standing right in front of a sardine shop. Believe it or not, as plain as the exterior of this shop looks like, walk inside and you will be blown away. Let us do just that. Sardines are a significant part of Portugal's culinary and cultural identity, especially during festivals and celebrations. Portugal is known for its canned sardines, and there's a thriving industry around the production of high-quality, gourmet canned sardines. The art of canning sardines is considered a craft, and premium canned sardines with various flavorings and sauces are sought after. The demand for high-quality sardines, often prepared and packaged with care, can drive up the price. Consumers may be willing to pay a premium for sardines that are fresh, well-prepared, and sourced sustainably. As we walked back in the direction of the Church of Santa Cruz, we noticed that the crowd along this shopping alley has grown considerably. Talking about crowd, let us get some facts. The municipality of Coimbra is the fourth largest urban area in Portugal, following Lisbon, Porto, and Braga. It has a population of about 150,000 people, living in an area of around 320 square kilometers. If we take into account the larger Coimbra region, we will have to include 19 municipalities, and they would be home to around 460,000 people and cover an area of 4,300 square kilometers. Now if we talk about distance. Coimbra is roughly 200 kilometers north from Lisbon. And we reckon that it should probably take us 2 hours to drive up here from Lisbon Airport, give and take. We mentioned the Barbican Gate before in this video. We will now go through it. The gate is actually arched. And above the entrance there is a sculpture of the Virgin Mary and coats of arms of Portugal and Coimbra. On the other side of the gate lies the old city with stairways and old buildings. Let us slowly explore the area and share more with you. One thing we noticed was that once we crossed the gate, the path ahead was all uphill. And it was going to be uphill all the way until we reached the areas near the university. But do not take my word for it. You will see it for yourself if you keep watching this video. But first thing first, I needed some ice cream. Or maybe some coffee, if ice cream was not available. This is known as Chocolateria Ecuador. Established in 2009 in Porto, it is a registered brand founded by Celestino Tedim Fonseca and Teresa Almeida, both possessing artistic backgrounds. Their vision from the outset was to create a space that would pay homage to chocolate. Together, they conceptualized the entire brand and initiated a chocolate production unit, assembling a team of experts in chocolate craftsmanship. They have several shops around Portugal, and this one is located at Rua Fernandes Thomas 3 in Coimbra. We bought a few pieces of chocolates there. We tasted some first and they were fabulous. The cocoa used for the manufacture of the chocolates comes mostly from the island of São Tomé and Príncipe, located in the Gulf of Guinea. Within this cocoa, one can discern distinctive elements such as pure chocolate, almonds, tannins, and wood notes, crafting a truly unique and specific sensory profile characteristic of this variety and its terroir. The Arch and the Torre de Almadina are historical landmarks in Coimbra. The Almadina Arch and Tower are part of the city's historical fortifications and represent a significant piece of Coimbra medieval past. The Almadina Arch is a gateway in the city walls, and the adjacent tower, Torre de Almadina, is a fortified structure. These elements were part of the Moorish defensive system and later incorporated into the medieval Christian fortifications. The area around the arch and tower offers picturesque views of the city. After trying out the delicious chocolates we just bought, I had aroused my sweet tooth. Luckily my husband spotted this ice cream shop. It is called Gelateria Cosi and they have a lot of vegan options and very unique flavors. I could not choose which flavor I wanted, so I requested 1 scoop pistachio, and for the second scoop, I wanted to be surprised. And it had something to do with avocado. I tasted it and I gave a nod of approval. And now we can continue our way uphill. We took the staircase that led up, and slowly made our way. We often stopped to catch our breath, to eat the ice cream, but also mostly to capture some photographs and just to take in the amazing scenery. There were some restaurants, some more cafes as well as some souvenir shops along the way up. It was not very crowded on that day. So it was a pleasant walk, and the weather was nice and cooling. We should now have covered more than half of the distance uphill. So let us continue. Along the way up, there were several small shops, similar to this one. They sold a variety of healthy food, like salad bowls, salmon salads, fruit salads, among others. We had now reached a church, set below the university campus. It is the Cervelha de Coimbra, or more simply known as the Old Cathedral of Coimbra. The construction of the church dates back to the late 12th century, and it was completed in the early 13th century. And needless to point out, it was built in the Romanesque architectural style, although it underwent subsequent modifications and additions in later centuries. The church, as it stands today, features a mix of architectural styles, including Romanesque, Gothic, and Manueline elements. The exterior is predominantly Romanesque, with a simple and austere design. The interior of the cathedral reflects a transition from the Romanesque to the Gothic style, seen in features such as pointed arches and ribbed vaults. However, if you want to go in, there is a small fee to pay. If I am not wrong, it is €2.50 per person. The cathedral also includes a distinctive bell tower, which is square in shape and stands adjacent to the main structure. The bell tower has several levels, and visitors can climb to the top to enjoy panoramic views of the city. The old cathedral served as the royal pantheon for the first two dynasties of Portugal. Several monarchs were buried here, including Afonso Henriques, the first king of Portugal. As I just mentioned, over the centuries, the cathedral underwent various renovations and modifications. In the 16th century, Manueline-style additions were made, and in the 18th century, it underwent significant alterations in the Baroque style. Leaving the church, we continued our ascent. I am hoping that we would reach our destination soon. My legs were starting to get tired. From higher up, we could get a different angle of the old cathedral, and a thought came to mind. If there is an old cathedral, does that mean that there is also a new cathedral then? More about this in the later part of the video. So keep watching. It was difficult to estimate how far exactly we had to walk. The road ahead was not straight, and every few minutes it ended up into a sharp bend. Once you approached the bend, it revealed another uphill section, ending with another sharp bend. But finally we turned left and the road led to an open space. The church you are looking at is the Igreja de São João de Almadina. And adjacent to it, stood the National Museum Machado de Castro. First, a short note about this church. Located within the Episcopal Palace of Coimbra, the church has existed on this site since the 11th century, possibly as early as 1064, as mentioned in a document from that year alongside the nearby Church of São Salvador. And now, more about the museum. The Machado de Castro National Museum is an art museum named after the renowned Portuguese sculptor Joaquim Machado de Castro. It was established in 1913 and underwent a significant renovation from 2004 to 2012, which included the addition of a new building. This renovation received the Piranesi Prix de Rome Prize in 2014. The museum is situated in the former Bishop's Palace, constructed over the centuries on the site where the Roman Forum of Eminium, which is Coimbra Roman name, once existed. Visitors can explore the lower floors of the museum to see the remains of this ancient past, known as the Cryptoporticus. The museum primarily features items from local churches and religious institutions around Coimbra. Its notable collections include extensive displays of sculptures, in fact, perhaps the largest among all national museums in Portugal, along with paintings, precious metals, ceramics, and textiles. On top of that, it has a nice cafeteria that serves good value lunches, all with a breathtaking view. Admission and tickets to the Machado de Castro Museum is €6 per person. It is closed on Mondays. On Tuesdays, it is open in the afternoon only between 2 to 6 p.m. And on all other days it is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Remember, just now I had a thought about Old Cathedral and whether there is a new cathedral. Well, simple answer is, there is a new cathedral in Coimbra and it is located just next to the museum. When I say new, it is all relative. In an ancient city like Coimbra, anything built in the 15th century could be considered new. However, in this case, the new cathedral's name derives from the fact that it took over the role of Coimbra main church, from the old cathedral in 1772. So let us head there, see if we can go inside, and I will tell you more about it. Nova, Coimbra, also known as the New Cathedral, has historical roots dating back to the 1500s when it was part of a Jesuit college. Founded in 1598 as the church for a Jesuit college, the New Cathedral underwent a transformation after the expulsion of the Jesuits from Portugal in 1759. The college then became a part of Coimbra University. Originally a place where Jesuits prepared missionaries for the Portuguese Empire's missions in Brazil, Africa, and Asia, the university later shifted its focus to the study of science and the natural world. Today, it also houses the Natural History Museum, which is included in tours of the university. The church then received a new Baroque interior, which has stayed the same since then. The only items brought from the old cathedral were a Manueline font and the choir stalls. The stunning gold-covered altarpieces were added during the 18th century renovations. Outside, the facade retained 4 statues of Jesuit saints: Saint Ignatius of Loyola, Saint Francis Xavier, Saint Francis Borgia, and Saint Louis Gonzaga. While the front of the church has a simple yet powerful design, featuring 4 statues of Jesuit saints, the upper part of the front, finished in the 18th century, has ornate Baroque decorations, creating a contrast with the lower sections that follow a Mannerist style. Inside the church, there is a single arched central space with side chapels, and a transept with a dome and clerestory. The transept and chancel are adorned with grand gilded altarpieces, crafted in the late 17th and early 18th centuries. The side chapels also display several altarpieces in Mannerist and Baroque styles. Notably, the chapel on the right was commissioned by Dr. Francisco de Fonseca's family. It bears his coat of arms and a commemorative inscription stating that Dr. Francisco de Fonseca, a law lecturer at the University of Coimbra, and his wife D. Luisa de Vasconcellos are buried there. The chapel was adorned in its current form in the year 1688. The chancel chair, dating back to the 17th century, was brought from the renowned Igreja de Santa Maria, Sevilla. Additionally, the impressive baptismal font in the left side chapel, near the entrance, was intricately carved in the Gothic Manueline style by Pero and Felipe Henriquez at the beginning of the 16th century. In short, the interior of this church was truly remarkable. We spent several minutes just admiring the sculptures along the walls, and wondering how much work went into making them. They were in immaculate conditions, as if they were alive and watching us. The colors were vivid and the expressions on the faces of these sculptures seemed to be telling a story. This doorway led us into another room, with even more sculptures and pieces of arts. Along the red-carpeted hallway, there were several displays, busts of important people, religious artifacts, as well as pieces of clothing and textiles. After going through all of them, let us take a moment to go back to the main church, and let us take a few seconds videos of the main icons of this church. Once outside, it is now time to walk towards the University of Coimbra. If you've enjoyed the content on our YouTube channel and want to stay tuned for more exciting videos, we invite you to hit the subscribe button. Your support truly means a lot to us. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you found it interesting or helpful, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribing, liking, and commenting not only show your appreciation but also help us grow our community. Thank you for being a valued member of our YouTube family. The University of Coimbra is one of the oldest universities in the world. It was founded in 1290, making it one of the oldest continuously operating universities in Europe. It holds a rich history, and its establishment predates the creation of Portugal as a nation. The Porta Ferreira, also known as the Iron Gate, is the main entrance to the university. It is located at the top of a grand staircase, leading to the Royal Palace of Alcacova, which houses the University of Coimbra. The gate is a remarkable example of Manueline architecture, a Portuguese style of late Gothic architecture. Once you pass the gate, you will come onto a gorgeous square, wide and bright with amazing views of the town if you walk to the far end of the square. In the middle is the statue of Dom João III. He was born in 1502 and was the King of Portugal from 1521 until his death in 1557. He was a key figure during the Age of Discovery and played a crucial role in the Portuguese Empire's expansion. He was well known for his efforts to strengthen the Portuguese monarchy and promote education and culture. In 2013, the University of Coimbra and its associated Joanina Library were designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The university's historical and architectural significance played a crucial role in earning this recognition. The university is organized into various colleges, each dedicated to specific academic disciplines. It has multiple campuses, with some of the main ones being Polo I and Polo II. Being located atop a hill, the university offers breathtaking panoramic views of the town and its surroundings. The Botanical Garden of the university, one of the oldest in Europe, offers a serene setting to enjoy views of Coimbra. The terraced layout of the garden provides vantage points to appreciate the town below. The University of Coimbra is renowned for its academic excellence, particularly in the fields of law, medicine, natural sciences, and humanities. The university is home to various chapels and religious spaces within its historic campus. One notable chapel is the Chapel of São Miguel. Earlier we walked past the access to the Joanina Library, which is also a part of the university. The library is a Baroque masterpiece and is known for its unique architectural features. It is home to a vast collection of rare books and manuscripts. The University of Coimbra has a rich tradition of student rituals and traditions. The students, known as pracs, have distinct ceremonies and activities, including the use of traditional academic attire. You are now looking at the University Tower, or also known as the Torre da Universidade, and it is an integral part of the Joanina Library. The University Tower reflects the architectural styles of the time when it was built, showcasing a combination of Gothic and Manueline influences. This building is called the Via Latina and it was built in the second half of the 18th century. It houses the Sala dos Capelos, which is the chapel room of the university, usually associated with the conferral of academic degrees and other important university ceremonies. It is also where the Faculty of Law is located. From the university website, the Faculty of Laws is described as a plural school, a house of culture, a house of freedom, where free citizens are welcome to do research, impart teaching, and study. It is a house where freedom to learn and to teach, guaranteed to everyone, is practiced and respected in keeping with the Constitution of the Republic. With a distinguished history in law, sciences, and humanities, the university remains a prestigious institution, fostering education and research while preserving centuries-old traditions. After our short tour of this part of the university, we decided to walk towards the monumental stairs of the University of Coimbra. They are located at the other end of this road, near the Praça Dom Dinis and near the statue of Dom Dinis. Dom Dinis, also known as King Denis of Portugal, born on October 9, 1261, ascended to the throne as the sixth King of Portugal in 1279, succeeding his father Afonso III. His reign lasted until his death in 1325. These stairs are a prominent architectural feature within the University of Coimbra. They serve as a grand entrance to the university, leading visitors to the historic academic buildings atop the hill, including the Joanina Library and the Royal Palace of Alcacova. As we conclude our journey through the enchanting city of Coimbra, we've delved into its rich history, exploring the University of Coimbra, a UNESCO World Heritage Site founded by the visionary King Dinis. Coimbra's university campus unfolds centuries of knowledge and architectural marvels. As we wandered through the vibrant streets, we admired the cultural tapestry, from the sacred halls of Santa Cruz Church to the scenic views of the Mondego River. If you found this journey through Coimbra captivating, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more travel adventures. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us know which aspect of Coimbra's rich tapestry fascinated you the most. Your support and engagement fuel our exploration, and we can't wait to have you join us on the next exciting destination. Until then, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep the Wanderlust alive.